Hi, friends, and welcome to the Sacred Language of Numbers Week. This week, I really want us to open our minds a little bit and look at numbers, synchronicities, and repeating patterns from a deeper perspective, because I think sometimes we dismiss things too quickly simply because we don't fully understand them yet. And this happens to me too. I'm not, you know. Totally happens to me too. Now, before we even begin, I want to say something that's really important to me. None of this is about forcing beliefs into anyone. If this resonates with you, beautiful. If it doesn't, that's perfectly okay too, because we always welcome curiosity and exploration here, right? We're simply having a conversation and looking at reality through a different lens for just one moment. One of the things that fascinates me most about life is that patterns repeat everywhere. We see spirals in galaxies, hurricanes, flowers, seashells, and even in our DNA. We see cycles in nature and in the seasons, in the moon, in relationships, in healings, in our own cycles. And honestly, even in our own behaviors and emotional patterns, the universe itself seems to move rhythmically and almost mathematically. And once you begin noticing that, it becomes very difficult to unsee it. And then there's numbers. People all over the world from different cultures and belief systems experiencing repeating numbers 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 1111, over and over and over and over again. Sometimes during major transitions in life, sometimes during awakenings or during heartbreak and healing and grief, growth, transformation. Sometimes, right when they are thinking about a decision, a person, a dream, or a new path that they are considering taking. Now, traditionally, these are often called angel numbers, and usually they are explained as messages from spirit, spirit guides, angels, the universe, God, source, or whoever you personally connect spiritually with. The idea is that something outside of you is trying to get your attention through patterns and repetition. And there is absolutely truth to this, right? But also, I like looking at it from a different perspective too. And this is something that I learned from a friend of mine. Her name is Ashley, and she has a fabulous podcast that I 1000% will invite you to listen to because it's just ah, it's the best thing I've ever heard. Okay. And they are called, she explained angle numbers. Okay. And I like this not because I think one is right and the other one is wrong, but because I think there's another layer to this conversation that is incredibly empowering. To me, angel numbers can feel like guidance, arriving from outside of us. Angle numbers feel like something awakening within us. So it's outside in or inside out. And I know that may sound a little abstract at first, but stay with me for a second, okay? What if these numbers are not just signs coming to you? What if sometimes they are reflections emerging from you? What if consciousness itself communicates through symbols, patterns, resonance, timing, and repetition? What if your subconscious, your higher self, your intuition, or your soul recognizes something before your logical mind fully catches up to it? Because here's the thing that people often miss. Yes, we can absolutely list a collective meanings for numbers because, people love structure and symbolism. 111 is often associated with new beginnings, 222 with balance and partnership, 444 with balance, stability, protection, 555 with change, and so on and so forth. But I think that the deeper work begins when we stop asking, what does that number mean universally for the collective? What can I Google, right? And start asking, what does that number means to me right now, in this second, in this moment of my life? What were you thinking about when you saw it, when you saw those numbers? What was happening in your life? What conversations were you having? What fear was steering or were you sitting with? Okay. What dreams were you avoiding? What decision were you struggling to make? What part of yourself was trying to come into consciousness? Because eventually, numbers start being definitions thrown to you by Google and start becoming conversations. For example, if somebody sees 111 during a period where they are finally ready to leave an unhealthy relationship, maybe that new beginning is not just some random spiritual message floating, in the sky, in the universe. Maybe it's a reflection of the fact that something inside of you, inside of them, is finally ready for movement, action, growth, alignment, right? That changes the entire energy of the conversation because now the person is no longer waiting passively for the universe to magically come and fix your life. You are participating consciously in that process. And honestly, I think that um that is where spirituality becomes truly powerful, not when it removes our power, but when it helps us reconnect to it. One of the most fascinating things about this entire conversation around angel numbers and angle numbers is the idea that maybe these moments are not random at all. Maybe these are points of alignment. Maybe they are moments where consciousness itself bends through reality in a way that catches our attention. My friend Ashley wrote something so incredibly beautiful about angle numbers that I asked her if I could share it with you, all because honestly, it perfectly captures the feeling of what I'm trying to explain. So please listen to this slowly because it's absolutely stunning. Here we go. Imagine your life is a grand cosmic type tapestry woven across multiple dimensions. Each thread symbolizes a different version of you, past, present, future, and even parallel selves moving in harmony, creating an intricate pattern of experiences, choices, and possibilities. Now picture light streaming through this tapestry from different angles, illuminating specific threads at specific moments. These flashes of light, your angle numbers, aren't random. They are beings of awareness from another version of you, highlighting synchronistic moments in your current reality. So, when you see repeating numbers, it's like a spotlight shining on a thread of alignment, showing you that something is harmonizing across time and space. It is a signal that your reality is clicking into place. There is a version of you that already walked this path, that already knows the truth you are stepping into. You can also compare it to the way sunlight refracts into a prism. The numbers you see are the precise angles at which light, which is awareness, bends into your reality, revealing the spectrum of energies at play in your journey. In essence, angle numbers are the echoes of alignment, light bending through time to show you that you are exactly where you need to be. Ashley Munger. I mean, wow. Whether you see this spiritually, symbolically, psychologically, or intuitively, there is something deeply beautiful about the idea that maybe life is constantly trying to help us notice alignment, right? Timing, resonance, and flow, which is what we want, right? To get into the flow, not through fear or force, but through patterns. This idea, this is also why I find Tesla's fascination with the pattern 369 sequence so interesting. Whether you look at it spiritually or mathematically, symbolically, or philosophically, certain patterns repeat constantly throughout our reality. You know, we see mind, body, spirit, beginning, middle, end, birth, life, death, past, present, future, right? The Trinity concept appears over and over and over again throughout spirituality, religion, philosophy, mythology, and even storytelling structures. And I don't think that necessarily means that we all have to agree in one interpretation. I think that is fascinating that humans across time have repeatedly recognized similar patterns woven into existence. And honestly, maybe that's the point. Maybe the universe has always been speaking through rhythm, repetition, cycles, timing, symbols, synchronicities, and patterns. And maybe we're simply learning how to notice the universe's language. So I would love to know your thoughts on this because this topic opens so many doors and so many conversations. I feel this is just the tip of the iceberg, and I would love for you to engage with me in these conversations. Okay? So let me know in the comments what are your thoughts, and let's start these conversations. See you during the week.